All right, if you want the Mavericks to win Game 3 and go up 2-1, like the video. We're in shambles at the Dallas Stars, so the Mavericks are going to have to pick up the pace here as they might be our last hope this postseason. So hit that like button. Let's take Game 3, and let's get you caught up on the latest news and notes leading up to this matchup. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I am Harrison Graham. We are here to talk about Mavericks versus Clippers. It was a big win on, get my days mixed up, Tuesday night.
Yes, Tuesday.
And Game 3 is tomorrow for Friday night, which I love, by the way, because the game's going up against the NFL Draft Round 1 tonight. Bad decision by the NBA. But Mavs are tomorrow, which, by the way, let me just plug here. I will not be there for that game because I got to cover the draft, but Coop is going to go live on the channel. I'll try to pop in because I'm going to be in a studio down the hall maybe once or twice, but full disclosure, I probably will not be there for much. So subscribe and join Coop for that as he will be live for Game 3 tomorrow. What time's tip? 7 o'clock?
7
so probably 6:45 he'll go live. So appreciate everybody who tunes in for that. All right, now let's get to the show. Daniel Gafford, Tim Hardaway Jr. injury updates, Coop. Gafford dealing with back spasms, did not practice today. Tim Hardaway Jr. already ruled out for Game 3. He will be reevaluated probably on Saturday. Catch us up on what you know up to this point.
Yeah, I just wanted to start with Daniel Gafford here. Obviously, he played a very limited role in Game 2 after he went to the locker room in the first half. Now, he did return to the game, which was a positive sign, but he only played like a minute or two and then was out for the remainder of it. Played 8 minutes total, did not practice today. Don't think that completely rules him out for Game 3 on Friday, but I do think his role will be limited, and you will end up seeing Dereck Lively start, and that's something we'll talk about later. But you need a healthy Gafford in this series. We saw in Game 1 that Ivica Zubac completely outmanned the Mavericks on the defensive end at the big spot. And if you're missing Gafford, you just get that much smaller.
Yeah, and you would think that if he's out, then, it just puts more pressure on and more minutes on both Maxi Kleber and Dereck Lively, and you would wonder if the Clippers would try to reestablish Zubac in that situation. But hopefully he's able to go. It sounds like if he's not, maybe he just misses the one game, so we'll see. The good news is Dereck Lively, Coop, played really well, especially in Game 2. Kind of felt like, okay, first game back, he get his legs under him, and Game 2, he looked a lot more comfortable. He was making better decisions with the ball offensively. He played better defensively, too. I think he'll start. And, look, we've been critical of Maxi Kleber and Jason Kidd's obsession with him.
Played a hell of a game.
The guy defended his ass off, hit a couple of timely threes. So I think you can get by for a game or two with just that combo. I still think for the long-term outlook of a playoff run, you're going to need Gafford, but I think you're okay with what you have right now if Gafford does miss time. I was really impressed with Lively the other night.
Yeah, like I said, I think even if Gafford's available, I think Lively is your Game 3 starter. I think he earned that over the first 2 games, and we'll see if Jason Kidd makes that adjustment. But let us know what you guys think. Who is going to be that Game 3 starter at center? If you think it's Gafford type G, if you think it's Lively type L. I think it is going to be Lively as we sit here 24 hours away from tip.
Yeah, and I don't think they would go to Kleber as the starter, even if he were to play heavier minutes than Lively. I just think they like him coming off the bench. I think that's a better role for him anyway. So I'm with you. I think Lively starts. We'll see on Gafford's availability as a whole. Hopefully he can give you some minutes. If not, I think the Mavs for now, at least in the short term, can get by with what they have. Again, Coop is going to be live for Game 3, 6:45 Central tomorrow night. I'll try to pop in every once in a while, but no promises as our draft coverage takes big priority over these next couple of days. But going to be fun regardless tomorrow night. So join us and
hang out.
Let's have a good time. Should be a good time. Okay, Tim Hardaway. This one feels at least a little more severe in terms of how much time he could miss. Right ankle sprain, Coop. I think we found out he stepped on a defensive
yes, he did.
On a contest on a three.
He was taking a three, and he stepped on a defensive guy's foot, and he immediately left the game with a sprained right ankle. Jason Kidd already ruled him out for tomorrow in today's practice, so he will not be there on Friday, and he's going to be reevaluated, it sounds like. So this one the injury seems a little more serious, and like I kind of mentioned, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but you can withstand THJ not playing.
Yeah, I think for the longer this series goes. Like, if you had to say, okay, out of Gafford and Tim Hardaway, who would you rather have available? I think we'd say Gafford, even though he hasn't really given you much through 2 games. I just think, we talked about it leading into the season all season long, Coop. You've had that log jam at like that 2-3 spot. So
Absolutely.
You've got guys that can go. Josh Green can give you some minutes here. He's a guy who's earned some minutes coming back from that injury. The defense has been there. It'd be nice if he
knocked down the corner three, man.
If he could shoot the ball with a little more confidence. He looks a little hesitant there. I think I attest that mostly to just not getting a lot of run over the last month.
Yeah, he missed all but, I believe, the last 2 games of the regular season, so he was out for a while there. He's still trying to get his rhythm as well. But I think the Mavs need to play him because he does provide that on the defensive end. And when he's in there, it just feels like he gives them a spark that is kind of something you really can't account for in the box score, but the team's better when he's out there.
Yeah, so hopefully he can give you some good minutes, and I'll throw Dante Exum in there too. I think
only 6 minutes a game.
I think you need to get something out of him. I mean, we were talking just like 2 weeks ago how he's like part of your closing 5.
Yeah,
and that has not been the case with how he's played so far.
I don't know what to attribute that to. Is it just the way that the Clippers play? Is it him just not being up to the standard that he was in the regular season?
Could be matchup based. The Clips' wings are big, so the Mavs have played a lot of Lively or Gafford at 5 with Kleber at 4. They've played bigger at times. So, I don't know. I think, maybe he's a guy, you get him at home. The classic role players play better at home situation. Maybe that gets him going. So, we'll see. But you think Tim might miss the whole series here, which wouldn't be catastrophic, but obviously you'd like to have as many players available as possible.
Yeah, it's a sprained ankle. So, if you it happened on Tuesday, so it would be like a 12-day injury. I kind of think that's
possible
what it is. So, I would be kind of surprised if he played the rest of the series. Now, hopefully the series only goes 5 games, so he does miss the rest, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, ankles are always interesting. Like Dirk, he was a rare,
Dirk
especially
could play
for a
on a
big.
sprained ankle.
He played on sprains all the time. Some guys it takes 3 weeks. Also, there's such different sprains. It doesn't sound like it's a high ankle sprain, so that's good. But even low ankle ones, like there's like different grades and all these, terminology words that are way over my head. But I do think it's going to be day to day, and we'll see, how he feels Saturday and beyond. But he is not going to play in game number 3. How are you guys feeling after the first 2 games in terms of confidence level? Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not good at all, 10 being very good. I mean, I'll go like a 6-8, Coop. Like,
I think that's very fair.
You got the split, but like it wasn't pretty. You also did not take advantage of Kawhi being out. Like, look, if you told me before the series you'd be 1-1 coming back home, I would absolutely take it. But at the same time, I don't think it's like massive advantage Mavs right now. This feels pretty 50-50 right now, and it definitely could go either way. So 6-8, I'm modestly confident, but I'd be shocked if this went less than 6 games, and it's probably going to go 7.
Yeah, I would have it right around there as well. I feel good. I still think the Mavs are in a position to win this series, and it starts Game 3 on Friday night. We need the building to be absolutely electric, man, and I know it will be. Mavs fans always show up in the playoffs, but it's a pivotal Game 3. I know they're all pivotal because it's the postseason, but it's your first one at home in 2 years, and hopefully the Mavs can come out with energy like they did in Game 2 and defend the way they did as well. And I think if they do that, they'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, all the odd number games always pivotal because if the series is tied for those odd number games, I mean, someone's getting the leg up. So we'll see if Dallas can put some pressure on LA, take a 2-1 lead, and really kind of force the Clippers into a maybe not a must win, but pretty close to one in game number 4. All right, there you have it. Some injury updates leading up to Friday night. No Tim Hardaway. We'll see on Daniel Gafford, maybe a game time decision. If there's clearer news leading up to tip tomorrow, we'll throw a short on the channel. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I am Harrison Graham. Join Coop tomorrow night for
baby.
game number 3. Go Mavs. We'll see you soon.